Ohtani won't be moved down the lineup for Game 3 of the National League Championship Series tonight against the Mets, despite having far better numbers hitting with men on base this postseason. Neither Ohtani nor manager Dave Roberts thinks there's much to the splits other than perhaps him chasing pitches a little more here or there. Luis Severino gets the start for New York tonight. LA counters with Walker Buehler.
I don't think it being the NLCS is kind of the thing for me. It's another game that I get to pitch with our team, and obviously, you know, the East Coast, West Coast, LA, New York thing is pretty cool, and that's what excites me more than anything is the noise and the excitement, and, you know, the kind of live or die feeling on every pitch is something that I've really kind of grown to love.
NLCS Game 3, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio Series is 1-1. NFL Saints top receivers Rasheed, Shaheed, and Chris Olave out tomorrow against the Broncos. Shaheed will have knee surgery tomorrow. Olave is out with a concussion. Lynx Liberty tied at a game apiece. Game 3 WNBA Finals tonight, 8 Eastern, ESPN.
Why pay more for a great shave? Choose Barbasol, America's #1 brand of shaving cream. Barbasol's thick and rich lather gives you a close, comfortable shave for just half the price of gels. Barbasol.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
That's right! Woo!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You should. And Mr. Toby Tumplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Rasheed Shaheed.
Hump day.
Knee surgery.
It's hump day.
Here you go.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Chris Olave concussion.
Hump day.
Here you go.
It's hump day.
Taysom Hill.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Hasn't got the chest.
Hump day.
That's not true. He's a tough guy.
It's hump day.
Here you go.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
All your offensive linemen.
Hump day.
There you go.
It's hump day.
Defense stinks.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
There you go.
Hump day.
Dennis Allen.
It's hump day.
Soon to be gone.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Hopefully. Anyway.
Hump day.
Mike Triplett next hour.
It's hump day.
Russ Mitchell, hour 3.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
A lot to get to. Let's get it. Ton to do. We begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Wednesday, midway point of the week, LSU getting ready for Arkansas. Just did a hit with my buddy Wes Moore up there in Little Rock, and his co-host was asking me, where does the Arkansas rivalry rank for LSU fans? Like, man, I'm not trying to poke you or anything. It doesn't. Ole Miss, Alabama, Florida, Auburn, Texas A&M, like all of those games mean more to LSU fans, the collective fan base, than Arkansas. But it doesn't matter because Arkansas loves this game and they always play you tough. You went there 2 years ago and you're coming off the win against Bama. KJ Jefferson was hurt, remember? They played Malik Hornsby, and then they wound up going to the next guy. They ended up playing like their 2 and 3 quarter. Anyway, point is, like that still ended up a 13-10 ball game. They always play you tough. So you better be ready. And Brian Kelly, when he met with reporters on the SEC teleconference, talked about the preparation this week for his LSU football team.
That's really the most important thing for us is preparing for our next opponent. And we got a chance 24 hours to enjoy the victory against Ole Miss, but, we're playing a really good opponent, well coached. They play hard. They're playing great defense, offensively, very diversified, and it's going to be a great challenge on the road in the SEC. Last 4 games have been decided by 3 points or less, one way or the other. So we know what's in store for us as we head up to Fayetteville.
The receiver availability is going to be something to watch for certain. This is an Arkansas defense that the defense hasn't been great, but the scoring defense in conference play has been good for Arkansas. They went to Auburn and held – now, Auburn is not a very good team. I think we understand that. But they went to Auburn and held Auburn to 14 points on their home field, beat them 24-14. They played Texas A&M at Jerry World. They lost 21-17. And then they played Tennessee on their home field, held Tennessee scoreless in the first half, and then ended up winning 19-14, held Tennessee to just 14 points. So this is an Arkansas defense that in conference play, their scoring defense has been pretty good. And this is an LSU offense that has struggled to run the ball. So we all know if you're struggling to run the ball, you are going to have to make sure that your passing game is as efficient as possible. Well, having your passing game as efficient as possible would certainly help if you had your full complement of receivers. That starts with C.J. Daniels. Brian Kelly gave an update on the transfer from Liberty who missed last week's game with a meniscus.
Daniels practiced and looked good. So, I would say we're going to, probably list him as probable for Saturday.
He didn't play against Ole Miss, as you remember, but I want to point something out about C.J. Daniels. He may not be your flashiest receiver, and I understand that, but he was a 1,000-yard receiver at Liberty, and internally, they also consider C.J. Daniels their best blocking receiver. So while Daniels and Kyron Lacey, as far as their physicality, their skill set, are very similar, they want C.J. Daniels on the field. 2 games ago against South Alabama, Daniels was on the field for 51 snaps. I mean, you look at, and again, that was a game where you were able to empty the bench a little bit. Kyle Parker also played 8 snaps in that game. Kyron Lacey had 50 snaps in that game. Look at a game like UCLA or even South Carolina, which was a more competitive game for LSU. Aaron Anderson was one of your starters, played 39 snaps. Kyron Lacey played 61 snaps. C.J. Daniels played 74 of the 79 snaps. They trust C.J. Daniels to know the route concepts, to block. Again, he's got the best drop rate on the team, meaning he has the fewest drops. He catches the ball when it's thrown his way. So, yes, that's a guy. He's got 20 catches through the first 5 games, averaging 4 a game. It would be a tremendous boost having C.J. Daniels in some form available for this football game. The one that we've talked about all year that we'll continue to talk about, I guess, until we don't have to talk about it anymore is Chris Hilton, and Kelly was asked for an update there as well.
Chris was able to do some individual work. His is a day-to-day situation, so he's still questionable, but, we're trending in the right direction there.
He's been day-to-day since the beginning of the season. I don't have anything else to add with Chris Hilton until we see him play. Y'all know how I feel about it. It sucks for the young guy who has waited this long for his opportunity. Was having a great camp, gets injured in the last Saturday of fall camp, and now has missed half of this season where it was supposed to be a great breakout. But his skill set is something you need because his skill set is something you don't have in your other receivers right now, except for maybe Shelton Sampson. That's the ability to stretch the field. You don't have that. Xavion Thomas, and Aaron Anderson are essentially the same guy. Kyron Lacey and C.J. Daniels are essentially the same guy. That's why we talked about the need to get someone like Trey'Dez Green at receiver because he gives you something different. Chris Hilton, Shelton Sampson would give you something different as well. And if they don't trust Sampson right now, then you're just waiting on Hilton to come back to have your stretch the field guy. We'll see if that happens this week. But again, until it does, I don't have any reason to tell you it's going to happen until it does, because I thought it would have happened by now. And then the big one on the other side is Taylon Green, Arkansas's quarterback, who Brian Kelly on Monday said, look, as far as straight line speed, he's the fastest guy they're going to face all year. Injured his knee against Tennessee in the fourth quarter, didn't finish that game. Good timing for Arkansas where they had the open date last week to get him healthy. Sam Pittman said he was kind of doing something on Monday when he met with reporters. He was doing some things. He was practicing lightly. They have a better idea on Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, Wednesday, the teleconference comes. Here was the update on the Arkansas quarterback from Sam Pittman.
I have been encouraged about how he's practiced. He's still not full speed yet, but we certainly think there's a possibility that he can get there. We'll have to wait and see there. Obviously we have 2 more practices and a walk, but have been encouraged about his progression this week.
Bottom line is, if Taylon Green sprained his knee against Tennessee, and they haven't come out and disclosed what the injury was, but you could see it and know some degree of what he's dealing with, okay? And that's a guy who relies on his mobility, straight line speed, and his ability to change directions. If he isn't full speed, that is a major boost for LSU for a lot of reasons. Number one, obviously, his game-breaking ability with his feet, because we've seen that. I mean, you don't need me to run through it again, but, we saw Colin Guggenheim have a 67-yard touchdown run. We saw Sanders and Sellers from South Carolina have a 66 and 75-yard touchdown run, respectively. Last week, Ulysses Bentley, 50-yard touchdown run. Like, that's where LSU has been susceptible. The big play in the running game. Taylon Green gives Arkansas that threat, along with Jaquindon Jackson, their running back, who's also very good. Jaquindon Jackson he's been really good. He's carried 99 times for 566. He's averaging nearly 6 yards a carry. Their running game is very good, and Taylon Green's a big part of that. If he's limited or unable, that's a major boost for LSU. Also, the same thing we saw last week with Trey Harris. I mean, they injected him. While he couldn't feel his ankle, he was pretty good in that first half, wasn't he? Happy juice wore off, got a little colder. All of a sudden, he's limping around. He can't move anymore. He finishes the game in sweats, sitting on the bench watching. I mean, it's just you caught a break, and you may catch another one this week with Taylon Green. We'll see how he looks when you get out there on Saturday night and you start running around, which is probably going to be a pretty cold night in Fayetteville. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Show Up and Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of the LSU Tigers, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints. You're going to be watching the Tigers and the Hogs Saturday night. Make sure you got plenty of ice-cold Bud Light. And when you're shopping, make sure you look for the LSU Bud Light cans and aluminum bottles. The celebration of 100 years of Tiger Stadium. They got them at great retailers everywhere. Make sure you grab those Bud Light LSU commemorative officially licensed cans and aluminum bottles. Of course, they got the Saints cans as well. You're going to be watching the Saints play on Thursday Night Football. You might need a few cold pops to get through that one. But you can grab them, of course, anywhere that you buy your spirits. The official beer of the LSU Tigers, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints, and the official beer of AFR. It's Bud Light. Drink easy with Bud Light. All right, y'all. It's after further review. As we mentioned, Saints are getting ready to take on the Denver Broncos Thursday night in the Dome, Thursday Night Football. We'll run through the injury report. Really disappointing news. Rasheed Shaheed's having knee surgery. We'll give you the latest next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Glow Resources, GLO, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions. If you are having trouble finding the right people, you need Glow Resources. I've told you over the many, many months that we've talked about Glow Resources that over the course of a year, they'll do some 15,000 interviews with prospective employees, right? They have never, not once, ever, gotten a negative review on one of their interviews. Just the sheer volume makes that remarkable. But it speaks to how good they are at what they do. When it comes to finding the right people for your job, skilled blue-collar labor, any type of white-collar or office job, they've got their professional placement division. You need to find the right people. You need Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Mike Triplett will be here in 1 hour. Usually Mike's with us on Thursday, but with the Saints playing tomorrow, he was good enough to bump up a day. We will have Russ Mitchell in hour number 3. Man, we know, as we've talked about the Saints so far this year, quite literally from the very first drill of training camp, where Kendre Miller pulled up lame with a hamstring injury, and then every day subsequent for that first week of training camp, another big name kept going down with injuries over and over. That's just been something that's persisted on both sides of the ball, but it has really bitten the offensive side of the ball hard. You all know, it's Derek Carr, it's Taysom Hill, it's Eric McCoy, it's Cesar Ruiz, it's been Lucas Patrick, Shane Lemieux, and now your receivers are the next group that's been hit hardest. Chris Olave suffered a concussion. We know that. He's still in the concussion protocol. He will not play on Thursday Night Football. That should come as no surprise. What we did learn is why Rasheed Shaheed has been absent. Dennis Allen gave the update today.
Yeah, I think he's going out to L.A., probably going to have surgery. Don't know what the time frame is going to be on that.
They asked about IR, which, remember, IR with the designation of return would mean a minimum of 4 weeks.
And so he'll probably go on IR no matter what?
There's a chance, yeah, certainly.
Look, I'm not an elite level receiver, obviously, but I had I had a meniscectomy as well. I had part of my meniscus removed. That ain't no 4-week thing, dog. I mean, God bless. Listen, I know, let me rephrase that. I know there are high-level athletes that will rehab the mess out of there and play with pain. And will get on the field. Hell, our guy Hester has told us, like, the 06 Sugar Bowl, when they played Notre Dame, he had meniscus surgery like 2 weeks. He told us like 2 weeks before that game and played. I can't believe that. But it just goes to show you, when you have a high-level athlete with elite training staff and stuff like that, they can get you ready. The difference, I think, there is, that was a one-game go, and then, you had the offseason. This is Shaheed, who relies so much on his speed, looking at the rest of the season, right? How do you get him for the most game, not ready for the next game, but for the most games possible? So IR would mean, you'd be out without him for minimum 4 weeks if that's the route they take. So no Olave, no Shaheed. If you go back to the start of the season, from day one, there were two position groups. Two position groups where we said those are the weakest on the team. What were they? Offensive line, wide receiver, right? Offensive line, we're going, man, you lose Ryan Ramczyk. You don't know if you have anything in Trevor Penning. You probably start a rookie left tackle. Hurst retired. Pete is now at the Raiders. I mean, you had two returning starters, and one of them was Cesar Ruiz. Well, now one of those starters, Eric McCoy, is out for 2 months, and Ruiz has now been out for a month. The two guys that you thought you had, and one of them was Cesar Ruiz, they're out as well. And then you look at receiver, where we knew your first two you felt good about, Olave, Shaheed. After that, it was a giant question mark. And the free agents you brought in were Cedric Wilson and Equinemius St. Brown, and we're like, you don't have anything there. Well, now Olave's out with a concussion, and Shaheed's out with a knee injury. Your two weakest positions that we knew in the offseason, everybody, not just me saying it, hell, Dennis Allen said it. From the beginning of camp all the way up until the final preseason game, he said, we feel good about two offensive linemen. They need young guys to step up at receiver. I mean, think how frustrated they were with A.T. Perry. I mean, they waived A.T. Perry last week. We thought A.T. Perry could be the number 3 on this team. They waived him last week. That's how thin you are at this position. So you got no offensive line. You're down your top two receivers, your most dynamic or versatile weapon in Taysom Hill, your starting quarterback, and you're facing the number 4 defense in the NFL in Denver, who is coming in without Patrick Surtain, I'll grant you, but I don't know how in the world the Saints score a point. Look up the total in this game, please. This has got to be in the 30s. I can't imagine. 2 rookie quarterbacks. What is it?
37.5.
37.5. And I'd probably take the under. This feels like an Iowa game last year. Just give me the under. I don't think they could set that number low enough. I don't think they could set that number low enough for me to take the over. But DA, with these guys out now, talk about who you're going to have to turn to.
Yeah, look, anytime you get guys that go down, it's opportunities for somebody else. And so we'll have some other young guys that have an opportunity to step up and get a chance to play, and we're counting on them to step up and play well.
Hey, you know that you ever heard that story that people say about, like, answered prayers about the guy in the boat in the flood? Have you ever heard this? Have you ever heard of this?
It's not ringing a bell, but I'm sure I have.
So this is the way the story goes. Flood happens. Guy sees it. Everyone's evacuating. Guy comes on a boat and says, hey, man, come on. Get in the boat. Let's go. He says, the Lord's going to protect me. I'm good. Water keeps rising. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so. Yeah, okay. I got you now.
Water. He goes up to the second floor of his house. Boat comes by. Man, come on. I said, nope, Lord's going to protect me. Water keeps rising, goes to the roof of his house. Helicopter comes. Hey, man, come on. I said, I'm good. Lord's going to protect me. Well, he drowns in the flood. He goes up to the pearly gates, meets St. Peter, goes into heaven, sees God, and says, God, I trusted you. You didn't save me. He goes, I sent you 2 boats and a helicopter. Yep. Like, is this God sending Mickey Loomis 2 boats and a helicopter with all these injuries? Like, hey, man, if you don't see how bad your situation is with this coach, I'm going to make you understand how bad your situation is with this coach. You're going to lose all your players, and you're going to be so bad this year that you ain't got no choice. I mean, maybe the Shaheed news, and I ain't trying to start a holy war. Y'all don't nobody comment with me about nothing about, leave me alone. The point remains. I mean, on Monday night, the Saints GM actually uttered the words on the coach's show, good organizations don't judge coaches by performance. Hey, do you have that still? Give me that line. I don't want to misquote him. I want the exact line from Mickey Loomis. When you got a coach that's 26-50 in his career, let me say that slowly for you. When you got a coach that's 26-50 in his head coaching career, he's never made the playoffs, and you continue to back him. Wait, this was Mickey Loomis.
Good organizations do. Man, you look beyond the results. What's the reason for the results?
You look beyond the results. What's the reason for the results? Which is true. When Zach Taylor inherits a crappy team and he wins 2 games in year 1, you don't fire him because he won 2 games. You realize, man, he inherited an awful situation. We're going to let him build. And then 2 games goes to 4, and then he goes to the Super Bowl. You have a large enough sample size with Dennis Allen, yet they still don't seem to understand it. Maybe this is the 2 boats in a helicopter. A day after Mickey Loomis said that, we learned Shaheed's got to have knee surgery. And I'm not saying I'm wishing that on anybody. I'm not saying God hurt Shaheed's knee. I'm not saying that, all right? I'm not saying God's a Saints fan, although he might be. I'm not saying God's a Saints fan, so he's injuring all these people so Dennis Allen gets fired. Please don't misunderstand me. My only point in drawing this comparison is to say that maybe it's taking something extreme like this to show Mickey Loomis, hey, look, man, you don't have the systems in place to overcome anything. That's how bad your roster is, how bad your coaching staff is. Even last week on your home field, wasn't nobody missing from your defense, and you gave up 51 points. Like, it's going to get way, way, way bad to where nobody can ignore how way, way, way bad it is. It'd be really cool seeing Drew Brees at halftime. That'd be awesome, won't it? I'm looking forward to that.
You at least have some fond memories there. A little bit of sprinkle of positivity during the game.
You think they're going to boo Sean Payton?
I do. I do think they are.
If you boo Sean Payton, I'm going to come to your house. I'm going to punch you in the nose.
I agree with that.
So they'll honor Drew Brees. What?
I was going to say you should cheer Sean Payton. You should boo the current regime.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what you should do.
They'll honor Drew Brees. They're asking for a blackout as well when all the Saints fans go to wear black, so that way you blend in with the empty seats, because I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of empty seats in the Caesars Superdome. And they're also going to be wearing throwback unis. Have you seen them?
I have not, but I'm intrigued. Are they the? Yep.
Yeah, no, I love it's the old gold pants with the great, the old gold and white stripes on the sleeves. Spencer Rattler modeled them. But they take something in true Saints fashion, something so great like their Color Rush uniforms, and they wear the helmet that doesn't match.
Yep.
Like, hey, guys, like, this isn't hard.
It's not.
You get an alternate helmet, right? Every team can have one alternate helmet. Get rid of that awful black helmet, whatever that thing is, with the stupid fleur-de-lis stripe down the middle that you never match to anything, that just ruins the beautiful Color Rush uniforms, and instead get an old gold helmet that matches the Color Rush and your throwbacks, and you're fixed. Instead of continuing to do the thing that everybody hates that looks awful, do the thing that everyone agrees would make the most sense. What is wrong with this organization?
So much.
Why do I love them so much?
I don't know.
Why do I love something so much that refuses to love me back?
It's in your blood.
I just can't quit you.
Yep.
I mean,
that's a rough feeling.
The easiest things, like, hey, match the helmet to the jersey. And you can't figure that out. How many years did they debut those things in London against Minnesota a few years ago? The Andy Dalton game?
Oh, the black helmet.
The black helmets. I think that's when they debuted them. I might be wrong. It might have been the year before that. But I think that's when they debuted them. I know they wore them in London. I just don't get it, man. I just don't get why they keep, and this is just a reminder. This whole thing is a reminder. What?
I was going to say you were right on the helmet. But
was that when they debuted it?
Yep.
In London, okay.
Against the Vikings, 2022.
You and I are uniform guys, Muse.
Yep.
I forgot what I was going to say.
That's my bad.
That's okay. It was probably profound, and it was going to be something we're going to clip, and it was going to go viral, and you screwed it up.
Get 1,000,005 views on it.
Way to go, you jerk.
Well.
Not really. I don't know. I was going to say something, and... Oh, that was it. I don't know how I was going to say it. It was going to be way better than this. But, this is why. What's happening right now is why when Breeze was getting near the end of his career and so many Saints fans wanted him to go, and I sat here, physically right here, not in this chair because we had crappier chairs then that used to compress down and everything. But I sat right here in this space, and I told you and I implored you, remember what you were as an organization for the first 40 years of your existence. You were one of the worst professional franchises in the world, not just in the NFL, in professional sports in the world. And then Drew Brees came and Sean Payton came and you became a winner, and that was awesome. And near the end, a lot of you just assumed, well, this will happen forever. Except success is fleeting. Look at the New England Patriots right now. From the greatest dynasty ever to literally the worst or second worst team in the league. And you're experiencing it right now. This is what the Saints have been historically. It's proving the Peyton Breeze era was the outlier. It wasn't a change of fate for the organization for all time. And I don't know how they get back on track. But they continue to show you with the decisions they make, from everything like retaining Dennis Allen, who they choose to spend money on in free agency, to how they can't even get the friggin' helmet color right. They continue to show you their incompetence. And it's devastating. When you've seen them be great and you've seen them win, and now you think they may never win again, it just sucks. It's gutting. I would rather Drew Brees play football for the Saints tomorrow than Spencer Rattler. Drew Brees probably weighs $185 and hasn't thrown a football with his busted shoulder in 4 years. I would still rather Drew Brees play football for the Saints tomorrow than Spencer Rattler. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, brokered by LPT Realty. Every home listed by every company, all in one place. Agent225.com. Agent225.com. Y'all, if you're thinking about selling your home, call Darren James. Nobody, no realtor in Louisiana sells more homes than Darren James. So why would you call anyone other than the realtor that sells more homes than anyone? 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. That's agent225.com. Get to the website. If you've never tried agent225.com, remember, it doesn't matter if you're buying or you're selling or you're just interested in real estate. Every home listed by every company, it's all right there. The other thing I encourage you to do, because Darren has this database of buyers, if you're trying to sell your home, you could call Darren and say, Darren, I've got a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2,400 square foot home in Ascension Parish. How many people do you have in your database looking for that home? He can actually give you a number. It's Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
NFL owners have approved Tom Brady's bid to buy a minority stake of the Raiders. This thing took 17 months to get done. It's crazy that took this long. Now, of course, Brady, in his role as broadcaster with Fox, the league has imposed a set of restrictions on him, or at least while his bid was pending, where when he began working at Fox, he was barred from weekly production meetings with players and coaches for the games he was covering, couldn't be in the other team's facility, couldn't watch practice. Those restrictions will continue now that he is a part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. The Cowboys, who Brady's had 4 times this year because Fox puts the Cowboys on every week, says they prefer Brady in the production meetings during the week. So maybe they can override some of that. Another thing that kind of delayed this was the thought that Brady might resume his playing career. He wasn't obviously going to become an owner and then play again, but now that it certainly seems as though his days of playing are finished and he's in the booth, this was able to get pushed through. But 17 months for Brady to be approved as a minority partner. And Roger Goodell said he hopes that Brady and Richard Seymour's newly approved ownership as well will inspire other former players to explore ownership. So it's got to be weird, man. Kind of like, I would imagine, like, you know, for like Bucks fans, for example, or Broncos fans. You watch John Lynch have a Hall of Fame career, and now he's the general manager of the Niners. It's got to be weird to see a guy that's so closely associated with your organization representing someone else, almost like John Elway. I mean, that might be a better. I mean, Lynch is a Hall of Famer, but so is John Elway. John Elway's a Hall of Famer with the Broncos, and now he's the Broncos GM. So, like, that makes a little more sense. Brady with the Raiders, just odd to see. But like Michael Jordan. I mean, Michael Jordan owning the Charlotte Bobcats. Just a weird thing to see. But congrats, Tom Brady, part owner of the Raiders. If you average out how beautiful Tom Brady is and how hideous Mark Davis is, where do they fall on the sliding scale of best-looking owner?
Man, that's a great question.
Average them out. If it's just Brady, you got the best-looking owner in sports.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Mark Davis looks like a character in Shrek.
Yeah,
you average them out. Ask AI.
That's what we need to do.
Ask AI to create a person that's a blend of Tom Brady and Mark Davis, and let's see how they look. All right, it's after further. We're going to do that. We're going to come back to it. Please don't let me forget, okay, Muse? Don't let me forget. Okay. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration. Kill mold, remove odor. Have mold, think you might. Parish Restoration can help. Patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. Kill mold, remove odor, other harmful pathogens. Great sanitization procedure as well. So if you got a medical facility or a school, church, any commercial building you want to sanitize, especially during cold and flu season, Parish Restoration. It's more cost-effective. It's more efficient. They can fog your house in like half a day, just a couple of hours. They'll come in, they'll fog, close all the doors, let the fog dwell. As soon as it dissipates, you're back into a totally clean, fresh-smelling home or commercial building. It's Parish Restoration. Go to parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com, hit the restoration tab. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing and Parish Restoration, parishbuilt.com. All right, let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Oklahoma Sooners.
Brent Venables and his staff have had discussions with Jackson Arnold about his future after he's demoted from starter to backup. They've talked about if he'll redshirt this season, preserve a year of eligibility after he was supplanted by Michael Hawkins, or if he might even transfer. Arnold has appeared in 4 games this season, which is the limit to maintain your red shirt. So, Venables said, he told Jackson, we put you in this because we need you to help us to go win, but they're sensitive to everything, so they'll see how it plays out.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
All SEC linebacker Smile Munden is not expected to play for the Bulldogs at #1 Texas on Saturday. That according to Matt Zenitz over at CBS. Munden's missed Georgia's last 2 games with a foot injury. No timeline for his return.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
A couple of Alabama receivers dealing with injuries are listed as probable heading into the Tennessee game this weekend, according to Kalen DeBoer. Kendrick Law and Kobe Prentice neither played against South Carolina. Law missed the game against Vanderbilt. It was Prentice who was injured in Nashville. He took that vicious hit over the middle when he was concussed. On the defensive side, Yanze Pierre was another player who missed the South Carolina game. He doesn't have an injury designation this week, so it's unclear if he'll be ready.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
And safety Dylan Williams has committed the Wildcats. 6'2", 180. He flipped from Missouri to Kentucky. Took it official for the South Carolina game earlier this year when Kentucky got blown out. Plans to enroll early. He's the 61st best safety in the country. Kentucky has 20 commits for 2025. There you have it. That is Around the SEC. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, Bluebonnet, Dining, Carry-Out, or Delivery. Pluckers. Sorry, Paulie. You didn't like our wings, we'll give you the bird. All right, let's talk some booze. Taylor Calandro is here for Bourbon Dictionary next. Don't move.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. Boy, woke up this morning, had to do a double take. Was getting Drew's backpack ready and his clothes for the day and everything. Looked at the little Alexa in the kitchen, a little temperature gauge right there, 54 degrees. I was like, oh, my guy's going to need some long pants and a jacket today. That also means we're getting near that time where you're going to crank on your heater. Before you do, make sure you call River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Mention the Moscona special. They'll knock $30 off the price. You should do this every year. The preseason heater safety check, not only will it make sure your heater is efficient, it'll save you money because it'll extend the life of your unit, and it will keep your family safe. It's River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird. They're the gang with the slang.
Keep it 100. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
I don't understand.
All right, get your booze questions in. Email us, tweet us, text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. How are you, dude?
Good. How are you, Matt?
Let's just move on. The Saints are playing tomorrow, and Rasheed Shaheed's having knee surgery, and they're going to bring Drew Brees and Sean Payton back just to remind us of how good we used to be and how bad we are now. You got anything really strong?
It's going to be a weird dynamic in the dome.
You got anything really strong you can sell me that I can drink so I just don't think at all about that game tomorrow and what's going to transpire and just remember all the good times we used to have?
Yeah, but there's always LSU, man.
Yeah, no doubt, except they don't play tomorrow.
It's true. We did get some new stuff. We got Jefferson's old rum cask finish. It's not like brand new. They've done it before. It's coming back around. It's really good. I tried it last year when they did it. It's just a little subtle rum flavor on the back end of nice Jefferson's. We also got the Smoke Wagon small batch Halloween edition bottle. It's just a regular small batch, but it's a Halloween edition. Some people collect those bottles, so it's only $32 too.
Go back to the. Wait, I'll come to Smoke Wagon in a second. Go back to the Jefferson's. Is that just the standard Jefferson's that's finished in the rum cask, or is that the very old, very small batch finished in the rum cask?
That it's the reserve finished in rum barrels.
Okay, that's good. They did a I'll tell you, just because I don't want to say like we love everything we talk about here. I like Jefferson's. I think they do a really good job. They did a whiskey finished in wine barrels. It was the very old, very small batch that they finished in a wine barrel. I can't remember which one it was.
But it was one of our. I think it was one of our single barrels.
No, this was years and years and years ago. One of the worst things I've ever tasted in my life.
So we did a wine barrel finishes are very polarizing, and some of them can be off. We did a wine barrel finish single barrel a few years ago that was really, really like 40 and super polarizing. Like people either loved it or absolutely despised it. So it can be overdone sometimes. I haven't
Pritchard Hill.
tried.
Pritchard Hill.
Wait, what?
It was Jefferson's
Yeah.
Pritchard Hill.
Yeah, the Pritchard Hill finish.
Did y'all do a Pritchard Hill barrel?
We did.
I didn't get I guarantee you, I didn't get a bottle of that because I'm telling you, one of the worst whiskeys I've ever tasted in my life is the Jefferson's Reserve Pritchard Hill.
I think we have had this discussion. Now, that
Probably.
I have had some Pritchard Hill single barrels that are good and subtle, and I've had some that are like ours that I just thought was way too much and overpowering. So.
Sorry. I'm going to get to questions because I always get accused of not getting to enough questions, so let's do this. Hey, this is from Pat, who said, "Hey, Matt, please ask Taylor if he's ever had 3-chord bourbon. Thanks, Petey."
3-chord bourbon, what?
Thanks. His name is Petey. He signed it. Have you ever had 3-chord bourbon?
Petey. No,
Yeah.
I have not had 3-chord bourbon. I thought that was, sorry, I missed the back end of that. No, I have not. I've never heard of that.
Oh, good. Preston said, "Ask Taylor, do you have any of the Abita Giacomo?"
Yes, I do believe we have some right now. I'm trying to think. I think we do, yeah.
Trey said, "Hey, Taylor, have you received any Disco 12 yet?"
Disco 12? I am totally unfamiliar with Disco 12.
Well, man, they are stumping you today.
They sure. Oh, the Discovery 12. I had to think about that for a second. Bardstown. Is the Discovery I can't remember which one the Discovery 12 is. We just got the Silver Oak finished one. No, we have not gotten the Discovery 12, no, because the Silver Oak's not part of that. That's the collab series.
Okay.
No.
Jason.
But if it's floating around, we should get some. So.
Jason said, "Ask Taylor, any good recipes for a fall-themed old-fashioned?"
I had a smoked old-fashioned the other night. It was just pretty traditional old-fashioned in a smoked glass, and I know that's become kind of cliche and stuff, but it was actually really well done. And those kits are all over Amazon. They're not very expensive. You can do them at home and impress your friends if you want to smoke an old-fashioned. But I like something like that this time of year.
The interesting thing about it, but I have one of those. Erica gave me one years ago. It is pretty cool. You get the little wood chips, you put it on top in a little vented part, and it comes the torch, and you smoke it, and then obviously the smoke. So it just gets a full smoky flavor in your cocktail, and it does look pretty cool. You take the top off, you sort of twirl it, the smoke twirls up. It is a cool way to present a cocktail, but it tastes pretty cool, pretty good as well. Do you like just a traditional old fashioned, or do you like a lot of the different people's takes and spins on old fashions?
I don't particularly love a traditional old fashioned. I just like whiskey.
Yeah.
And I do like whiskey cocktails. Traditional old fashions just really aren't my thing. I'm not a big fan of old fashioned bitters and stuff like that.
I am.
And I just like pretty much straight up spirits, not so much old fashions and stuff like that.
Let's see. Sean said, "Ghost Unholy Roller."
We have not gotten that yet.
Is Ghost Unholy Roller the same thing, or is Unholy Roller a compliment to Holy Roller?
Unholy Roller is an Urban South beer.
Right.
Ghost Unholy Roller, I have no clue what that is, but Holy Roller is Unholy Roller is the Blood Orange Double IPA that they're currently doing right now. So I don't know. That's a blend of two beers.
Oh.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay. Well, maybe he's asking about both of them.
We have Ghost and we have Unholy Roller.
Cool. Greg said, "Ask Taylor any hemp whiskey for Musso."
So when I was in Amsterdam, I saw that they have whiskey and vodka with marijuana actually in it, like flour.
There you go, Muse.
Craziest thing. He needs to go to Amsterdam.
There you go, Muse. It's for you. All right, Taylor Calandro from Calandro is good enough to join us. A little Bourbon Dictionary here every Wednesday. Thanks, dude.
All right, Matt. See you.
All right, be well. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, gents. We're getting near the holiday season. We're getting near Christmas. If you're thinking of popping the question, the only place, the best place to buy that beautiful diamond to thrill her forever, every time she looks down at her left hand, is Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Thrill her with a gift in the red box. At Lee Michaels, of course, you get the selection of a big store, the prices as well, but you get the personalized customer service that comes along with Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. It's a special occasion. Make it feel like a special occasion. Lee Michaels can help. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, L Sports Center. We'll kick off hour 2 next.
AFR.
Optimize, they're the generator people. GeneratorPeople.com, GeneratorPeople.com. Y'all, I know we're moving out of storm season and toward the cold weather months, but remember, wasn't that long ago we had that deep freeze here? Knock power out. You never know when one of those heavy rain pop-up storms could come that'll knock power out. As a matter of fact, this morning, I don't even know what happened, but sometime in the early morning hours, the sound machine in our room went out, the AC went out, just boom, everything powered off. I don't know why we lost power, but we did. And then generator kicked on, everything came back on. I don't even know when our power came back on because it didn't matter. We had a generator that got everything going again. It could be that easy for you. If you're thinking of installing a Generac automatic home standby generator, call Optimize. They're the generator people. Remember, you got $600 for a down payment. They have a financing option for any budget, and they take care of everything. They make sure they call the power company. They get the permitting. They do everything for you. It's turnkey. GeneratorPeople.com.
Join us at Pro Dreams in Mandeville for our special event, A Day of Champions. Meet LSU National Championship winning head coaches Jay Johnson, Skip Bertman, and Paul Maneri. Don't miss your chance to purchase authentic sports memorabilia, autographed by the champions.
And miles of trails and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Despite having far better numbers with men on base this postseason, Shohei Ohtani will not be moved from the leadoff spot for the Dodgers against the Mets tonight in Game 3 of the National League Championship Series. Manager Dave Roberts confident his slugger will find his groove again soon. ESPN MLB analyst Jessica Mendoza.
He has to be able to make that adjustment. It's almost like waiting an extra click. If you watch his front side, it flies open, but he has that ability to still bring the backside and hit the ball. The Mets have done a great job, though, of staying middle of way. But for Shohei Ohtani to make those adjustments, he has to just wait a click longer to see the power that we've seen from him all season long.
Game 3 NLCS 7:30 Eastern ESPN Radio series is 1-1. NFL Saints top receivers Rasheed, Shaheed, and Chris Olave out tomorrow night against the Broncos. Shaheed will have knee surgery tomorrow. Olave is out with a concussion. Receiver Devontae Adams expected to make his Jets debut Sunday night in Pittsburgh. Game 3 WNBA Finals tonight. New York at Minnesota, 8 Eastern ESPN. The series is tied at a game apiece.
Why pay more for a great shave? Choose Barbasol, America's #1 brand of shaving cream. Barbasol's thick and rich lather gives you a close, comfortable shave for just half the price of gels. Barbasol.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Go!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Mike Triplett's here in 15 minutes from right now. Mike usually with us on Thursday, but Saints playing on Thursday. He's good enough to kind of shift and shuffle with us a little bit. We will have Russ Mitchell next hour. You know, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, but I do always find it interesting when we have an opportunity to look at mock drafts, just because, again, for nothing else, it's to look at a scout's take of where maybe they project a player to go, and then also from the NFL perspective, what position they might be looking at for your team. The ESPN's Jordan Reed, one of their draft analysts, put out a mock draft today. He had Shadur Sanders going 1 and Travis Hunter going 2, by the way. So a Colorado teammates going back-to-back. Maybe of the most intrigue and importance that I'm looking for is where they have the LSU players going. We're keeping an eye, obviously, on Will Campbell and Emory Jones and Harold Perkins and Garrett Nussmeier, all players that we've seen at various times in first-round mock drafts. Jordan Reed has Will Campbell going 7 overall to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Actually has he's projecting a trade with Jacksonville going up. I guess with the Raiders trading up to get a quarterback, and Jacksonville falling to 7, where Will Campbell's there. He notes Will Campbell is his top-rated offensive lineman on the board. Campbell, a polished pass protector, physical run blocker, played strictly left tackle during his career, surrendered 1 sack so far. Said many scouts are hesitant about this offensive tackle class and aren't sure we will see one go in the top 10. That's interesting. Even some suggest Campbell could move inside at guard at the next level. It's interesting. I was actually having this conversation yesterday with Shay Dixon from On 3. Shay and I and Michael Cobble, every Tuesday, we film a show called Sports Takeover that's on WBRZ Plus at 6:30 on Tuesdays. And it airs on all their digital platforms pretty continuously. But afterwards, Shay and I were talking, and he was telling me one of their scouts over at On 3 said one of the concerns about Campbell at the next level is his arm length. And I understand that you have measurables, 40 time, arm length, hand size for quarterbacks, all that stuff. But boy, it sure feels like if you passed on Will Campbell because you were concerned about his arm length, that feels like you'd be cutting off your nose to spite your face. I mean, you've got 3 years of film where the guy's allowed two sacks. He's allowed, 2 up to this. He didn't allow a sack last year. He allowed 2 as a freshman, none last year, and then 1 this year. Boy, that passing on that guy who's got that much good tape playing left tackle for 3 years in the SEC because you're worried about his arm length feels ridiculous. But something to watch. Again, just whatever. He's going to be really rich either way. Just something to watch. And that's it for the LSU guys. He does not have Emory Jones in round 1. Does not have Harold Perkins in round 1, which is going to be fascinating to watch. But Campbell and Jones are both going to declare. I think that goes without saying. We all know that's going to happen. Perkins, it certainly feels like that is going to be contingent upon what scouts are telling him about his draft status after the knee injury. And it may not matter. Like, the knee injury may not matter. I mean, I saw Willis McGahee 20 years ago. I saw his knee explode in the national championship game, and the Ravens took him in round 1, and he ended up having a great career. So it may not matter. It's just going to be, is there a team that values him, his skill set, can use him, all that stuff we'll see. And obviously, of greater importance than all of that is Garrett Nussmeier. You know, I don't know what it would take for Nuss to declare, to feel like he's ready to go. And there's a lot of teams that, in a quarterback-starved league, a quarterback-needy league, every team that needs a quarterback will reach for quarterbacks. I mean, Bo Nix went, what did they take him, 10th overall or 11th, whatever it was? I mean, wherever Denver took him?
12th.
10th? It was 12th overall? 12th. I mean, yeah. Would somebody take it? I mean, I get it. Nix was a 5-year starter in college, and this is Nussmeier's first year starting. But you know, watch Mitchell Trubisky go 2nd overall after 1 year starting at North Carolina. So is it beyond the realm of possibility Nuss could be a first rounder? Absolutely not. I would love to see, selfishly, Garrett Nussmeier come back for a 5th year just because of the recent history we've seen at LSU with quarterbacks coming back for a 2nd year as a starter at LSU in their 5th year. Mettenberger, Burrow, Daniels. Would love to see Nussmeier do that as well. But if he's a first-round pick, I understand why he would go. But something worth keeping an eye on. If he starts being projected in everybody's first round, well, then it's what it is. But if it becomes a little more hit or miss and we see what happens in the back part of the season, it's just something that will follow. If you're wondering, in Jordan Reed's mock draft for the Saints, he has the Saints, who are 2-4 overall right now, picking 12th overall and taking Tatora McMillan, wide receiver out of Arizona. That could be the big-bodied target that you need. It's very clear right now. I mean, the Saints are an organization that needs help everywhere. They need offensive linemen. They need receiver help. I would love it if they took a quarterback, although I don't think that's going to happen. They need to get younger on the defensive side. So I don't know. I feel like this is one of those drafts for New Orleans where you could take the best player at any position wherever you're picking in round 1, and I'd be pumped about it because you need help everywhere. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out here. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. If you want to see 2020, call 924-2020. Remember, eye care, eyewear, and eye surgery. At the Williamson Eye Center, look, they've got locations all over the greater Baton Rouge area, including their newest location in the River Parish there in Lutcher. But wherever you are in the greater Baton Rouge, if you need an eye exam, Williamson Eye Center can help. If you wear contacts or glasses, they can update your prescription or get you those frames or those lenses. And if you want to ditch the contacts and glasses forever, no matter your age or your refractive issue, at the Williamson Eye Center, they have a procedure that can help you see 20/20 without contacts or glasses forever. Call 924-2020, set up that consultation. 924-2020 or WilliamsonEye.com. All right, last hour, Mike Triplett's coming up here in 6 minutes. Last hour, we talked about Tom Brady, who is now, he's been approved as a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. And so I said, if you combined Tom Brady and Mark Davis, like, where do you fall on the sliding scale? Like, Tom Brady is obviously the most beautiful owner in sports. I don't even know who would be next.
That's why I was trying to think
in
of
the
that
NFL.
too. In the NFL, I mean, they're all old people.
Old people can be good looking. Why do you hate old people?
I don't hate old people.
Sounds
I'm
like
just
you hate old
saying,
people.
when you compare them to Tom Brady.
You just said they're all old. That's what you said. You didn't say compared to Tom Brady.
I did say they were all old.
You just said they're all old.
Most of them are old.
They're old.
I mean, Miss Gale's really attractive. Miss Gale's a pretty woman.
But if that's a high watermark.
You trying to say the scale's ugly?
No, I'm just saying if that's the high watermark, Tom Brady far and away exceeds everybody.
Yeah, I'd have to really look at everyone's owners.
Yeah, man.
Miami's full of good-looking people. I feel like if you own the Miami Dolphins, you have to be probably pretty good-looking.
That's Stephen Ross, old guy.
Never mind. Yep.
Round rim, spectacles, bald head, not a good-looking guy.
Never mind, not a good-looking guy.
Shad Khan got the little handlebar mustache.
Yeah, but it's
something sort of mysterious about him.
He looks like he's out of a vaudeville movie. He's not he's not a good-looking guy.
No.
Everybody loves the handlebar mustache, but it's actually not a good look.
That's just your opinion. So anyway, we asked if you combined Mark Davis, who I think we would all agree is the worst-looking owner in sports.
Yeah.
Where does it fall on the sliding scale? Is it right in the middle? Does it lean more Tom? So I said, hey, let's ask AI to create us an owner that combines Mark Davis and Tom Brady. Let's make sure we get this and share it on social media for those who aren't watching.
Okay, Paul's got it.
So Muse did it. I have not seen it yet. Muse asked AI to combine Tom Brady and Mark Davis.
Yep.
All right, Paul, here's the big reveal. Let's see it. We have a drum roll?
I don't. Sorry.
Oh. Wow. You see, there's my answer.
I know.
There's my answer. Like, Muse said to me, oh, it just looks like Tom Brady. I was like, well, maybe it's because Tom Brady is so striking and so beautiful that he just cancels out all of Mark Davis's awfulness. And it kind of just still looks like Tom Brady.
Yeah. I mean, I could see a little bit of the Mark Davis in the area of the eyes and the smile.
Sure. Not as sharp. His facial features aren't as sharp. But still got the hair.
Yep.
Got the build.
Thank goodness, by the way.
Oh, man. Tell you what. I think we got the best-looking owner in sports. You combine them, you still got the best-looking owner.
That's what's incredible about Tom Brady's looks.
Yeah, Tom. Why don't you just get fat on a beach somewhere?
Yeah.
That commercial where he's talking about doing the Fox. Anyway. All right, let's share that on social media. All right, let's let our people know. If you don't follow us, it's at 1045 ESPN on Twitter, Facebook, Insta. I think Insta is actually ESPN 1045. Long story, but anyway, you know where to find it. Okay, Mike Triplett next. AFR.
After further review.
Hey, tomorrow on the show, we'll have our second sit-down here on AFR with Tigers wide receiver Kyron Lacy. Good timing as well. If we just caught the game-winning touchdown pass in overtime, but that's courtesy of our friends at Duplessis Builders. Duplessis Builders did an NIL deal with Kyron Lacy, with Harlem Berry. Part of the deliverables is that Kyron's going to come on the show 4 times. We've already had him once, so we're looking forward to talking to him on Thursday's show. We'll talk about winning the game in overtime, what that scene was like on the field, being able to represent LSU and winning a game of that magnitude. Looking forward to that. Of course, tell you all the time, if you're thinking about building a pool, an outdoor kitchen, you want that backyard paradise, Duplessis Builders are going to design and build a beautiful quality product that lasts. They're not going to rush the process. They're going to take their time to do it right. That's why you get a 10-year workmanship guarantee. So hire the company that does beautiful work that lasts and that supports the Tigers. DuplessisBuilders.net.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has back-to-school savings like $16,000 off 25 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $16,000 off. All new Bayou vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Mike! Yeah?
New Orleans Saints coverage with some Mad Libs mixed in.
Why don't you just go by Mike?
It's time to talk black and gold with Mike Triplett of New Orleans Football. Presented by Benny's Car Wash. Family owned and operated since 1951.
A day early. Glad to have Mike Triplett. I'm sorry? Okay. I just hear the Be Like Mike song blaring in my ear. Got it. All good. Wrong. That's okay. Mike Triplett said he needs 3 minutes. So I wonder what that's about. All right, Mike Triplett in 3 minutes. Then we'll talk some Saints Broncos with Mike. Russ Mitchell will be here next hour. So just that gives me an opportunity actually very quickly. Excuse me. Brian Kelly was on the SEC coaches teleconference earlier today. Talked about preparation. He did talk about C.J. Daniels probable for this game. Chris Hilton still day-to-day right now. One other thing that was interesting was he was asked about the college football playoff talk, which at the halfway point of the season, when you're 5-1, by the way, everybody that puts out mock or bracketology stuff now, everybody has LSU in by virtue of when they effectively replaced Ole Miss now in bracketology. Here's what Brian Kelly said when he was asked about the CFP chatter.
You'd have to look at it from both perspectives, right? We were not even ranked in some polls when we had beaten South Carolina. We were talked about as being a team that didn't deserve to be ranked. And if the kids listened to that, then they wouldn't continue to work hard and try to improve. So the same is true as if you listen to what people talk about relative to you're going to the playoffs, then the same would happen, right? You're not going to put in the extra time and work. So we really stay away from all the chatter and really focus on what's most important. And the most important thing is how you prepare each week.
One of the things as well that Sam Pittman talked about was the LSU rivalry. I talked about this a little bit at the open of the show with respect to I was doing a radio hit in Fayetteville, and or actually it was in Little Rock with my buddy Wes Moore up there, and Wes's co-host asked me about how LSU people see this game, and LSU people really don't view this game. I mean, if you just polled, tell me if you disagree. Like, if you just polled LSU fans, or text me, 225-396-4400, tweet me, jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. Like, maybe I'm misreading it, but I feel like if you asked LSU fans what they felt about this game, like if you were ranking rivalries, Ole Miss, Bama, Florida, Auburn, A&M, at least. Maybe 6th before you get to Arkansas. I mean, any different? Would you go any different?
No, I would not.
So here's Sam Pittman, though, talking about the importance of this game for his team.
Anytime you have a long history of playing each other, and the proximity where we're recruiting, against each other, I think that puts a different feel towards the game. And then you throw a trophy in there. Certainly, we've talked to our kids. We had a bye week too, so we had a little bit more time, but we talked to our kids about the significance of the history of this game and what it means to the state of Arkansas.
It means a lot to the state of Arkansas. It doesn't necessarily mean the same. I've called it an enigma because it doesn't matter if you care or not, they do. And if you're not interested and you go up there, you will get popped like LSU did in 2014 when they got shut up by a terrible Arkansas team that broke a 3-year SEC losing streak. So whether you like it or not, you better be ready to go. And I'd say a good thing is that it is going to be a night game. At least you don't have to go play it at 11 a.m. All right, now we talk to Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football. Mike, how are you?
Hello.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Doing good, doing better than 90% of the Saints roster.
Where do you want to start?
I'll let you do that. That's your job. You're a professional.
Let's start with the newest news, which would be Rasheed Shaheed. When did we know that it was actually this bad? And how did this happen?
Yeah, it happened in the fourth quarter of the game. We did not realize at the time. I think Nick was the first report the next day that they were very concerned about something, and Dennis, that maybe long term. They have not identified the exact timetable yet, but Dennis Allen said he's going to go to Los Angeles for surgery, and it's meniscus related. From what I've been able to gather on that, there is some possibilities that are, surgery that requires him to miss 6 months, and there are some possibilities that it's a repair and it's shorter term than that. But, given the given the desire for long-term health, given the bad news that's piling up on this team right now, I'd be prepared for the possibility of that.
What? All right. So no Olave, no Shaheed. No Taysom. Is that fair? We're assuming Taysom won't play.
Yeah. Doubtful. Derek Carr was also listed as doubtful, and I'm going to roll him out.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So who do the Saints have for Denver?
Well, the best thing they have is Denver is not going to have Pat Surtain, their best player, the best player in this game, a guy who's a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL. So that is one tiny bit of an equalizer, even though the Saints lost their 2 best receivers compared to their best corner. But that helps a little bit. Kendre Miller could be back to help with the running game, but there's still, Lucas Patrick's list is questionable. He didn't practice fully all week. I'm dubious whether we'll see Lucas Patrick. We certainly won't see him at full strength. So the interior offensive line is still going to be a problem against the defense that likes to blitz a lot. So who's back? I'm trying to think. Is there anyone back? Tyrann Mathieu will play after he missed part of the game the other day. I think by the time they play the Chargers next week, we could be looking at Taysom Hill back, Cesar Ruiz back. I mean, there's a path to some health coming up, but that doesn't help you on Thursday. It's a must-win game.
Yeah, golly. So a little deeper there, Mike. So Thursday's a must-win. I don't like to say must-win until it's like a literal must-win, but my goodness, this is as close to that. Walk me through how you see it if they do fall to 2-5 with what they have remaining.
Yeah, look, the schedule, if you look at the schedule, you can all of a sudden talk yourselves into miracle comebacks. It widens up so nice and so, so manageable. If you ever believe like this team is a good team, though, and that was the most disturbing thing about the Tampa Bay loss. It wasn't even the injuries. It was the defense falling apart, and that was supposed to be the rock of this team. But, yeah, I mean, 2-5 is not a death blow if there's a path to get back to like 5-6 by the bye week. If they're 5-6 by the bye week, this season can be salvaged in theory. But 2-5 is a death blow because you're playing at home against a Broncos team that's not very good. These are the ones you got to win, and it would be 5 straight losses and then a 10 days to lick your wounds and dwell on it. I mean, this team needs something to lift some spirits too. That stuff all matters. I don't think we necessarily saw a defense quit. I know that's a popular word. It looked like a defense that quit on the field. That doesn't totally make sense to me because they were winning and down by 4 during those plays where they were missing 5 tackles, 3 tackles. And so it wasn't like they were down by 20 points at those moments. But, you know, if you want to keep them engaged and hopeful and optimistic and energetic, you got to build off something.
The snowball in the second half was stunning. I mean, that was the thing that I think that caught. The first half was drunk. The second half was you got knocked out.
They were winning with 20 minutes left, Matt. They were winning before Chris Godwin ran that 55-yard short pass and run. And then they were still within 4 when they let third-string running back Sean Tucker bounce off 5 guys for 36 yards. It was unbelievable. Like, the game wasn't out of hand until those things happened. I don't understand why they did, to be honest with you. This defense is 32nd in the NFL right now. None of us saw that coming. We've been talking about Trevor Penning all year and colossal offensive injuries. Not the defense becoming the worst defense in the league, statistically.
He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett, New Orleans.football. It's interesting that you say they're the worst defense in the league, which statistically they are, Mike, but I can also remember a time where they lost a game 2 weeks ago where they didn't allow an offensive touchdown. So, I guess 3 weeks ago, if you look at last week being... Anyway, you understand the Falcons game. I mean, are they really the worst defense in the league?
No, I'm pretty surprised they're 32nd. I mean, part of that is because they gave up 2 games worth of yards in one game, and that's a yardage statistic. Their points per game is not nearly that bad. They were really good in the red zone. They had only allowed 1 touchdown pass all season before they let Baker Mayfield have 4. So no, I think but I do think they needed to be the rock. They needed to be elite. They needed to be like, you can count on us until you guys get healthy and figure your things out on offense. For them to let down as much as they did was super disappointing because they needed to be able to win a game like that, and they need to show that they can come back 3 days later and win a game like this against Bo Nix. Otherwise, why bother squinting at the schedule and figuring out the timetables on when guys are going to be back? Because where's the good team?
What are you playing for? So you said Denver. This is one you got to get because Denver's not very good. They're a 500 team, and they're 4th in the NFL in defense. So
yeah, they are good at that. That is true. But they are now going to be without their best defensive player, who's one of the best in the league. So that creates a little bit of an opening there. And yeah, they're 3-3. The 29th offense, the number 4 defense. But they're not a team. They're not a team that should be able to run away with this game on the scoreboard, I should say. It's a beatable team for sure. It is one of the ones on the schedule you got to get.
Denver is a 2.5-point favorite. It's interesting because talking to people in Denver, the Sean Payton coming to New Orleans storyline, no one there really seems to care. It's obviously a big deal here. I mean, you're in the office, in the facility there. How big of a deal is it internally for the Saints having Sean Payton come back?
I think it would have been a huge deal 4 weeks ago when they were 2-0 and they were feeling good about themselves. Even 2 weeks ago when they were 2-2, but they were competitive against Philadelphia and Atlanta. And Dennis Allen was starting to get some praise, and Derek Carr was starting to get some praise, and it would have been a huge threshold moment to beat the mentor and to be the defensive coach outdoing the offensive coach. That would have meant a lot for a guy, but now they would beg for a 1-point win at home against the Carolina Panthers. Like now they're trying to salvage a season from falling into the abyss. Yeah. It's not about DA versus Sean Payton anymore. It's about we need a win or we're going to lose this season.
Saints are asking the fans to wear black. It'll be a blackout in the Caesar Superdome. Mike, is that just to mask the empty seats in the dome?
No, what color are the seats? They used to be like purple and pink and blue, and they're not
anymore. They're like black and gray, sort of,
I mean, there will probably be Broncos fans here. Anytime an AFC team comes to town, they only come once every 8 years, and if fans are selling their tickets, they're selling them to the out-of-town guests. So they're not all going to be wearing black at this game.
He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football. Do you expect any changes defensively after what we saw last week against Tampa? Personnel-wise, I mean?
Short week, not a lot of options. I mean, maybe more blitzing, maybe a more aggressive approach. That's what they did to kind of turn things around last year. So definitely that's possible. I mean, I think the game plan to beating Bo Nix, who's only been sacked 9 times, he can scramble pretty good with his feet. I think the game plan is going to be try to disguise things with your excellent secondary, the one part of the Saints team that is still excellent. Try to make him throw some picks when he's throwing on the run and resetting in the pocket. So that's definitely the one area where the Saints can try to win this game. But yeah, they got to find a way to get pressure in a different way because it's not coming so far this year.
Is there any way we can get the Saints to match the gold of the helmet to the gold of the throwback uniform, pants, and jerseys?
They're just looking for a win, Matt. Let's not ask for the impossible.
I mean, I don't think that's it. Like, this is the thing that I think you could actually do that would be really easy and make sense. I just don't understand why they can't seem to get this. Like, whose decision is that? Is that Gail Benson's decision? Is that the equipment manager's decision? Is it Dennis Allen who thinks the ugly black helmet is awesome? I mean, who makes? Can you help us?
You know what? If they're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs in November, I'm going to dedicate myself to an expose on this.
I would love that. I would read it. I would be first. I'd be first in line. We would spend an entire 3-hour show on this, Mike. I would dedicate my entire show to your expose on why the Saints can't seem to get a helmet that matches the color gold of the color rush and the throwback gold unis. Okay, let me get a thought if I can before we go on Spencer Rattler and how you think he did in his debut.
Look, I really loved what we saw in the first half. It was all the things that we saw in training camp. It was kind of what I expected to see. He moves well. He's comfortable. He's poised. I felt good watching him out there. He made things happen. He improvised on some big plays, made some really nice throws with that arm. And then the Buccaneers figured out everything he was comfortable doing and took those away from him. So now we got to see it. Now we got to see if the Saints can counterpunch to that better than they did in the second half of this game. I think in the end, I was pretty excited for his debut. And I think, at about halftime, I was like, oh, God, this is going even better than I expected. Second half went even worse than expected. I think in the end, though, I kind of feel the same way about him that I felt going into that game with it, which is there's a lot you should want to work with. There's a lot to build off of. But, it's not going to happen right away.
Mike Triplett's with us, courtesy of Benny's Car Wash every week, usually on Thursdays. Good enough to bump up a day here with the Saints playing the Broncos on Thursday night. Before you go, since you did cover the entire Peyton Breeze era, I'd be remiss if I didn't at least get a thought from you on Sean coming back, Drew being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and what this night means for the organization and for Saints fans who watch them lead the organization to its greatest moments.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a shame that the circumstances are what they are. It's the first 4-game losing streak since Peyton's last season when he had a 5-game losing streak, and it's just such a dud. It's such a hold your breath and can you steal a win? It's not a celebration. It's not a looking back on anything fondly. It's coming at a really unfortunate time. It's why the question you asked, barely at the end of this interview instead of leading with it. I think that's a shame. It was only 4 weeks ago when we were a lot more optimistic and we would have been a lot more excited about all those other things. I'm trying to think. As Demario Davis said this week, he said, under the circumstances, the backstories are going to have to take a back seat in this one.
Yeah. Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football. He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett and with us every week, courtesy of Benny's Car Wash. You can learn more about all their memberships at bennyscarwash.com. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, man. Be well. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Need tires? They'll sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices. They'll treat you like family. Part of the Charlie's Dozen, a dozen benefits to buying your tires at Shaw Bills, which includes free tire rotations, free balancing, free tire repairs, Charlie's price match guarantee. You buy tires at Shaw Bills, you find them cheaper somewhere else, they'll refund you 125% of the difference. They're going to bend over backwards to make sure you get the best tires at the cheapest price, and they treat you like family. It's Shawbills. ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills, we keep you rolling. Okay, because Mike was a little tardy there, we went a little late. My apologies. We'll come back. We'll do Pluckers Trivia. Hump Day show is brought to you by Pluckers. We'll get the Tigers and the Pros. Russ Mitchell here in about 45 minutes from right now as well. Preview a big weekend ahead in the Southeastern Conference, including Georgia visiting Texas. That's a massive one. Bama on Rocky Top. Boy, you got a really good weekend. Of course, LSU with a scary spot going up to Fayetteville. So, a lot to do. Glad you're here. It's AFR.
After further review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, Injury Attorneys. Of course, we love telling you about Gordon and the G team and all the things that they do over there. You probably have, well, if you're on social media and you follow Gordon, you've seen it. If you're not, you should be following Gordon. They added Will Campbell to the G team. We showed you that video a couple weeks back when Gordon pulled up to the office and Will was there, and Gordon got out in the head-to-toe white suit, a replica that Will Campbell was wearing a year ago in one of the Tiger Walks. Well, they took Will Campbell gator hunting. I'm not exactly sure where they went, but some really good video. Well, pulling some big boys out of the water. It's in Lockport. Pulling some big boys out the water. Get outdoors with Get Gordon, gator hunting there with Will Campbell. I can't imagine that whoever Will's team is on the next level is will approve of this. Probably something written in the contract, but nonetheless, Will Campbell gator hunting. It's all on Gordon's social media at Get Gordon. Get Gordon and get it done.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, time for a little Pluckers trivia. Of course, it is a hump day every Wednesday over at Pluckers. 7:30 Blue Bonnet, 8 o'clock Nicholson. Get on by, test your knowledge. Win Pluckers gift cards, spin the wheel, Amazon gift cards. You love trivia, you love wings, you love sports, you love beer. You go to Pluckers on Wednesday. It's just what you do. All right, Muse, hit it.
It's time for Pluckers Trivia. How many will Musso get wrong today? Pluckers Trivia, every Wednesday night, 7:30 at Blue Bonnet, 8 o'clock at Nicholson.
Blue Bonnet. Your mic's not on.
I was like, I don't know what you're saying there.
Yeah. You got to turn your mic on.
Yeah.
Well, it is 4:40.
It's been a heck of a day.
I could understand in the last 20 minutes something might have happened where Muse would just start talking into the microphone without remembering you actually have to push the button for the words you're saying to be processed through the microphone, the board, and sent out over the airwaves.
Oh, I remembered I had to push the button. The problem is I thought I already did.
Right, exactly.
It wasn't a forgetful thing.
Right, Paulie? Right. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because it's 4:41. Yep. You didn't put Paulie's mic on. I tell you what.
It was on.
Our guy's having a little trouble over
Paul
there.
never says anything. So after he said his one word, I turned it off because that's what Paul does. Go ahead, Paul.
Sometimes he gets a little irritated too, Paulie.
I bet he does.
I know. Look at our guy. All right, Muse. 3 questions. Got a sports question, got a history question, got a movie question. See how you do.
See what we can do here.
All right. Including the rest periods between rounds, how long is a 12-round professional boxing match?
Oh, I didn't know it was sports math.
Hard to do math at 4:42?
Oh, no, it's just hard to do math in general. I'm horrible at it. Math is stupid.
Not asking you to find the square root of something.
The problem is
just adding.
I'm not. A boxing round is 5 minutes, right? Okay. Well, that's cool. Thanks.
You have to know. You have to know that to be able to answer this question.
Yeah. But, okay. So, I would say, and I mean, I guess the rest periods. I'll go 90 minutes on that one. I don't know.
No.
I've watched one true boxing match in my entire life.
90 minutes.
And I wasn't even really paying attention
They
to
would
it.
all die. No, like they would literally die. No one has the stamina to be in a boxing ring for 90 minutes. They're 3-minute rounds and 1 minute between rounds, so it's 47 minutes.
47 minutes. There we go.
Here you go, Muse. Name the 90-minute.
I mean,
boxing
brother,
match.
you talk about sports blind spots for me in this segment all the time. Boxing's the biggest one.
Okay. Bigger than hockey?
I'm inclined to say yes, just because I've watched more hockey than I have actual boxing.
Bigger than tennis, where you don't know one of the
bigger
even
than
the
tennis.
name of one of the greatest tennis players ever.
Bigger than tennis.
So basically, what we've learned about you, Muse, is you don't actually know anything about sports other than football and baseball.
I know basketball. I screwed up one basketball thing, and I really didn't screw it up.
You didn't know who Oscar Robertson
Not true. I got the question correct.
You didn't know who Oscar Robertson was.
It's not true.
That is a fact. You did not know who he was.
I got the question correct. Therefore,
no.
Yes.
You guessed by process of elimination, but you, by your own admission, did not know who Oscar Robertson was.
I don't think I admitted that. I think I said I'm definitely familiar with the name. So I don't think I admitted that I didn't know who he was. We can go back and look, but that's not important at the current moment.
He's one of the greatest basketball players to ever live. You didn't know who he was.
I'm not disputing that he's one of the greatest players
This isn't
ever.
even a debate. Let's move on. Name the kids' Halloween movie based on the tagline, "We scare because we care."
Kids' Halloween movie.
Show and tips.
Yeah. I don't... We scare because we care. I have no idea.
Okay. Monsters, Inc. would be the answer.
Good movie. Didn't know that was the tagline.
Let's go for the bagel here. You never disappoint. Your inability to get any of these right, Muse, never disappoints. Which founding father, unless we're doing anime, we know Muse likes him some anime.
Show ends at 6, Scone.
I can do whatever I damn well please. It's my show. Which founding father was the United States' first postmaster general?
What the hell, man?
Weren't you a history minor?
Yes, but I don't know the first postmaster. That was probably, I don't think I ever even went over that in college history. That you're probably talking about like 5th grade history. I don't remember that. The first postmaster general. Founding father. Let's see. I'll go with John Hancock.
No, Ben Franklin.
It was Benjamin Franklin, huh?
Ben
How about that? He
Bagel.
He invented electricity.
Go to Pluckers, do better than Muse. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. ReliefWindows.com. Energy efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, vinyl siding. Oh, yeah. They do shutters as well. You want to beautify the exterior of your home, lower your energy bills, increase your home's resale value. In time, these windows pay for themselves by lowering your energy bills, increasing your resale value. It's an investment into your home. It'll make you enjoy your home even more while you live in it. It's Relief Windows. Check them out. They service the entire Gulf South. ReliefWindows.com. Their headquarters right there on Airline Highway in Prairieville. If you're south on Airline, you pass 42, quarter mile on the right, you can't miss it. It's Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com. All right, Muse, lick his wounds. Do Tigers in the pros when we come back next. And Russ Mitchell here in 30 minutes. Should the Saints, they lose on Thursday, should they start fire sale in their roster? There's one name that's been brought up I want to talk about. We'll get to that in 13 minutes. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought about the Watermark Hotel, the Renaissance Hotel, Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Watermark, of course, Baton Rouge's premier hotel property. The Watermark Hotel in downtown Baton Rouge, the original high-rise building in downtown Baton Rouge, the old Louisiana National Bank building where they've maintained so much of that historic integrity of the building. You can go into the basement and you can still, like, there's this beautiful marble staircase that goes into the basement where the bank vaults were. They've turned those vaults, they've hollowed them out, and turned them into conference rooms and meeting rooms. A lot of the original artwork is still in the building as well. It is so gorgeous. If you've never been to the Watermark Hotel, you got to check it out. Even if it's just to go dine at the Gregory or have a cocktail or glass of wine at their lobby bar, watch some of the pedestrian foot traffic around downtown Baton Rouge, or to have a great meal and dine at the Gregory. Phenomenal fine dining restaurant in the lobby of the Watermark Hotel. You got to experience it. It's the Watermark Hotel.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Muse, I don't think they're going to invite you to St. Michael's Career Day anymore.
Why?
Well, I mean, you're terrible. You don't know anything. I mean, you keep getting all these questions wrong. You're embarrassing your alma mater. Eric Held texted me, and he said, what's Musso's batting average on trivia? Put a donut and a bagel emoji.
Dang, Coach Held. Get out of here, Coach Held.
You don't get to tell him that. Actually, maybe we do get to tell him that, because he obviously didn't teach you anything. Really, nobody at St. Michael's taught you anything that stuck. Too bad. It's too bad.
I learned a lot of things at St. Michael's.
Clearly not.
Yeah, I did.
You continue to disprove that statement every single Wednesday here in hour number 2.
Musso!
Tigers in the pros!
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Alrighty, let's run through some NFL news here, shall we?
Let's.
Joe Burrow popped up on the Cincinnati Bengals injury report today with a right wrist injury.
Oh, no kidding. You mean the thing that every game he keeps doing this and wincing and rolling his wrist and...
Yep, that thing.
Hurting.
It's okay, though. He's a full participant, so I guess he's fine. Grant Delpit, limited with a concussion. He was in concussion protocol, still is. Missed last game, limited. We'll see if he can make his return. Incidentally, Malik Neighbors as well, while we're on concussions. We know Neighbors missed last week. He returned to practice, was limited on Wednesday also with a concussion. Still in the protocol, but they're hoping that he'll make a return.
Eye leak. Let's go.
Oh, you said eye leak. Okay, I didn't know.
Eye leak?
Yeah.
They need him, bro.
Yeah, they do. The New York Jets worked out a couple kickers. One of them, Cade York.
All right.
However, they did not sign any of those kickers, but we'll keep you posted. Maybe they just want to get
Well, Greg the Leg didn't do so hot on Monday Night Football.
Greg the Leg needs to change his nickname.
It's a shame that Greg the Leg made the field goal that sent the Rams to the Super Bowl in the Dome in 2018. And he stinks ever since.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that.
Stink.
Poop. Some good news. Poop. Poop out of your mouth.
How did you say that, Ron?
Some good news here potentially for DJ Chark. You might remember DJ signed with the Los Angeles Chargers in free agency back in September, but then had a hip injury that has kept him out all season long.
Yep.
Ended up on IR.
Hip hop?
Ended up on IR.
Hip hop anonymous?
Damn
you! Give him the easy one.
They say his teeth were made of wool.
No, it's wood.
Oh, man.
Nobody knows what we're talking about.
Jim Harbaugh announced today that Chark will have his 21-day practice window open. So hopefully DJ is coming back sooner rather than later for the Los Angeles Chargers. You know what? I'm done. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Evermore. Drink Evermore, y'all. You go up to my office and get another bottle. I'm out of this one. I got the 20-ounce bottle right here. Oh, look, you get 20-ounce, get 32-ounce, get the 64-ounce. I love, tell you all the time, get the 4-pack of 64-ounce. That's preferable. Grab a couple of those, drink them throughout the day, and you'll hit your water content quota every single day. It's Evermore, natural artesian water. It's a healthier source of hydration. Go read a lot of the reviews. They don't make medical claims, but you'll even see some people say things like they've stopped having reflux from drinking a healthier form of water. Go read the reviews, do your research. Most importantly, when you're at the grocery store, just try it. Don't grab that crinkly plastic bottle from Texas. Drink a Louisiana product, a natural product that's Evamore. EVAMOR, Evamore.com, available at great local retailers. All right, Russ Mitchell's coming up in 20 minutes. When we come back, the Saints stink. Should they start fire sailing assets, including one very prominent defensive end? That's next.
AFR.
Got a text earlier today from my buddy Ben Sanders over at First South Farm Credit. And something I've been telling you is that with the interest rates that have ticked down here of late, they at First South Farm Credit will reach out to their borrowers and offer loan modifications. So if you borrow money at a certain interest rate and rates come down and they can save you money, they'll call you and offer to modify your loan. A lot of people don't believe that they'll actually do it, but they do. Ben told me today that in the last 60 days, this is literally from today on Wednesday, in the last 60 days, First South Farm Credit, they've repriced $168 million in current loans. Those are loans that were lowered. They lowered the rate because the market moved. Y'all, there's a reason they've been in business since 1916. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has back-to-school savings like $16,000 off 25 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $16,000 off. All new Bayou vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Dodgers megastar Shohei Ohtani not being moved out of the leadoff spot for Game 3 of the National League Championship Series. Far better numbers hitting with men on base this postseason. Neither Ohtani nor manager Dave Roberts thinks there's much to the splits other than perhaps him chasing pitches a little more here or there. Luis Severino starts for New York tonight. LA counters with Walker Buehler.
I don't think it being the NLCS is kind of the thing for me. It's another game that I get to pitch with our team, and obviously, the East Coast, West Coast, LA, New York thing is pretty cool, and that's what excites me more than anything is the noise and the excitement, and that kind of live or die feeling on every pitch is something that I've really kind of grown to love.
NLCS Game 3, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Series is 1-1. NFL Saints top receivers Rasheed, Shaheed, and Chris Olave out tomorrow night against the Broncos. Shaheed will have surgery tomorrow. Olave's out with a concussion. Receiver Devontae Adams expected to make his Jets debut on Sunday night
Russ,
against the Steelers.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance.
Better?
Progressive offers a great price and round-the-clock protection when bundling home and auto. It's one of those rare times where you could save money and get something great. Bundle today at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Go!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. And oh, by the way, it's a hump day.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Tigers and Hawks. Getting ready to do battle in Northwest Arkansas.
It's hump day.
Sam Pittman says Taylor Green's gonna play.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I believe it. Sam Pittman says Taylor Green's got a chance to be 100% healthy on Saturday.
It's hump day.
I don't believe him.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Brian Kelly said C.J. Daniels probable to play. I believe it.
It's hump day.
Mike Triplett was here last hour.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
If the Saints season falls apart, Mike will dedicate an entire show in November to doing an expose on why the Saints can't seem to match their helmet color to the throwback jersey color as well.
It's hump day.
Russ Mitchell in 12 minutes.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Muse threw up a bagel in Pluckers Trivia. Boy, we had a lot of good stuff today already.
It's hump day.
Still an hour to go.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Otterlocks is coming. Russ Mitchell is coming.
It's hump day.
It's AFR. All right, let's go. All right. Thanks for being here with us as we move throughout the afternoon. We did have a lot of good LSU-Arkansas stuff today, as well as getting you ready for Saints and Broncos. If you missed it again, the headline today, Rasheed Shaheed, meniscus injuries, flying to California to have surgery. IR is a possibility. Also, Chris Olave not available, still in the concussion protocol. So the Saints are going to be extremely shorthanded offensively. It will effectively look like a preseason game roster going against the number 4 defense in the NFL in prime time, trying to save your season. An unenviable task. We'll see if they can do it. One of the big questions as we near the trade deadline for the NFL is for the teams that are, in fact, out of contention, how do they approach the remainder of the season? Do you fire sale your roster, try to accrue assets, and draft capital, things like that moving forward? And one of the questions, there was a piece today at ESPN.com. It was Dan Graziano and Jeremy Fowler, two NFL reporters over at ESPN.com, posed the question, would the Lions look in the trade market for an edge rusher to replace Aiden Hutchinson? We all know Aiden Hutchinson, unfortunately, was the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year, suffered that awful leg injury this past weekend. Reports are he could return for the Super Bowl should the Lions make it there, but long way in the distance, they got to get there. So could they trade for an edge rusher? He notes that the Lions should call the Raiders and ask about Max Crosby. I mean, the Raiders just traded Devontae Adams. They're 2-4. Things continue to go poorly. Would they try to accumulate assets for a player like Crosby? Azeez Ojulari, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, some of the other names mentioned. Or I should say, because Azeez Ojulari being behind Burns and Thibodeau in New York with the Giants, Ojulari was the name they mentioned. Well, Graziano threw out Chase Young. He said, what about Chase Young? The Saints really like the guy, could be interested in signing him to a long-term deal. But if they check in and don't feel good about their chances of doing that, could he be on the move for a second deadline in a row? Of course, last year, Chase Young started the season in Washington, was traded to the 49ers, of course, made it to the Super Bowl and lost, and this offseason signed a one-year deal with the New Orleans Saints. A one-year prove-it deal for Chase Young. And it's been a bit of an uneven start in New Orleans for Chase Young, but maybe the most important thing to remember right now is that he is healthy. He's got 10 tackles, 1.5 sacks so far through 6 games. And he's playing a rotational role, but playing more and more as Cam Jordan plays less and less. So you're seeing more of Chase Young and Carl Granderson, Cam Jordan kicking inside or playing more of a rotational role. I don't think this is going to surprise you, but my feeling right now is that you would absolutely do a deal like this. Because here's how I would approach the trade deadline for the New Orleans Saints. You're 2-4 right now. You're an underdog against the Broncos, what would put you at 2-5. Before the season started, my contention was, as you were sort of mapping out the schedule, you just wanted to have your head above water. Like, could you get past Denver into your mini bye at 4-3? Could you just get there with your head above water? And we know what happened. You started 2-0. You lost Eric McCoy in the game against the Eagles, which was disappointing, but you still had a chance to win that. You almost impossibly lost to Atlanta in a game where you did not allow an offensive touchdown. So the possibility of being there was there. You were close. No one's going to fault you for losing to Kansas City. But if you're 2-5, there's no real probability to think that you're going to be able to win 8 games. You're not going to go 8-2 the rest of the way. So the Saints organization would have to look at it and say, okay, are we close to competing? Or is it time to push a bit of a reset? Let me say it a different way. Are you a Chase Young away from competing? And I think the answer is obviously no. You have him on a one-year deal. It's very affordable. Another team would take on that contract at the trade deadline to add a player that could be an impactful one and help them make a run. It's not that dissimilar from what you see the trade deadline in Major League Baseball all the time, in particular with relievers. There are players that, I remember that the Cubs did this in their World Series year with Aroldis Chapman. Chapman was a closer for the Yankees. The Yankees traded him to the Cubs at the deadline. He pitched for the Cubs. The Cubs won the World Series, became a free agent in the offseason, signed back with the Yankees. He was basically a lease player. So if you're the Saints and you want to extend Chase Young, there's no reason you couldn't do it and re-sign him after the season. You'd effectively be loaning him to another team if he wanted to come back for the second half of the season, let him go try to compete to win a championship like he did a year ago in San Francisco. So I think the bigger question is there a team that would give you an asset for Chase Young? And if the answer is yes, then you do it. I get asked that a lot by Saints fans. Should the Saints trade off some of their players? And my answer is, well, of course you should, but the problem with structuring deals the way the Saints do and restructuring contracts is you load yourself with dead cap money and bad contracts. So you're not just trading, remember, you're not just trading the player, you're trading their contract as well, which makes it really difficult to trade a player like, say, Marshawn Lattimore. Because if you're going to trade Lattimore, you're not just trading the player, you're trading the contract. So a team would have to give you an asset to get the player and his contract. So like Lattimore in 2025 has a cap hit of $31 million. And then in 2026, it's $28 million. The Saints could off-ramp after this year, but the point being, if you traded him, someone would be taking on this bad contract. And that's what's very difficult to do. But if you have a one-year borrow player, prove-it deal player like Chase Young, yeah, you could move him. And I think the Saints should. I don't know that they would go hit in the draft, but the only path out of this is what we saw them do in 2017 when you had back-to-back-to-back 7-9 seasons. How did you get out of that? You hit with an historic draft. I'm not saying it's got to be the 2017 draft, but you got to get starters on rookie contracts over again as the cap continues to increase so you can reset your cap, be competitive in free agency again. Yeah, you got to get a quarterback. Maybe it's Spencer Rattler. You're financially bound to Derek Carr for another year. So it's far from over. But if you can obtain an asset for a player that's not going to help you do anything of significance and may not be with you next year anyway, yeah, do it now. The question is there a team willing to give you an asset for Chase Young? The Saints should absolutely be sellers at the deadline with anything anybody wants to buy, including Chase Young. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. If you weigh or measure something, Michelli sells, services, and rents the products you use to weigh and measure. Love saying their tagline at Michelli, we show the world what measurement can do. ISO 17025 accredited laboratory. If you don't know what that is, doesn't matter. If you know what it is, you know why it's significant. At Michelli, they do it. Our nation's largest distributor of scales, more than 30 locations from sea to shining sea. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com, Michelli.com. Okay, y'all, we're not got a quick break. Come back. Russ Mitchell will be here. We will recap this past weekend, including Bama's close call against South Carolina, LSU's big win over Ole Miss, and previewing the big weekend ahead. LSU going to Arkansas, Georgia at Texas, Bama at Tennessee. A lot of movement is going to happen this week in the Southeastern Conference. Russ is here next to talk about it. It's AFR.
AFR.
Okay, y'all, Saturday at the Cleggs on Seagan is the Baton Rouge Green Tree Spree. Tell you about this every year. Baton Rouge Green is a great organization, civic organization in Baton Rouge, committed to helping make Baton Rouge, to beautify it, make it more green, of course. And this Saturday, every tree that is Baton Rouge Green approved that they sell at Cleggs during the Baton Rouge Green Tree Spree, Cleggs will make a donation to Baton Rouge Green. So you want to help beautify our city? This is a great way to do it, to beautify your home and to help a great organization in Baton Rouge. So again, here's the details. The Baton Rouge Green Tree Spree is this Saturday at Cleggs on Seagan, just the Seagan location, from 8 to noon. So there'll be arborists on hand as well. They'll help you find native trees and shrubs. You can select citrus and fruit trees. It's all there for you Saturday at the Seagan Lane Cleggs Nursery.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird. Russ Mitchell.
Kicking the tires and lighting the fires. Russ! Literally.
Well, I'm proud of Russ. I think Russ deserves it.
It's football! Rusty, come on up here. Absolutely, I thought that was going to happen because it's state. It's supposed to happen.
You know, I haven't had much of a chance to talk to you man to man, Russ.
How are things out there at DBU?
I want you to stay here and take care of things, Russ.
The only way you can point up is up.
Not going in our yard, Russ. It's going in our living room.
It's like Troy.
Can't see the line, can you, Russ?
Put your foot on his throat and choke him out.
Take it, Russ.
Russ Mitchell on Twitter at Russ Mitchell CFB. How are you?
Oh, kicking the tires, lighting the fires.
Oh, my goodness. All right. How good was it Saturday night? Your favorite child beats the runt of the litter in overtime. What was your big takeaway?
Can we please get that second half defense on the field for every game, for every half, for every quarter? That was my biggest takeaway, was that second half, and watching Jackson Dart running for his life. You know, one doesn't like to promote violence against one's own children, but watching Jackson Dart run for his life in the second half of that game on Saturday was pleasant.
You asked me when we were sitting together in Las Vegas to guarantee you that LSU wouldn't give up 55 points and 700 yards to Ole Miss. And I promised you they would not give up 55 points and 700 yards to Ole Miss. They did considerably better than both of those. So you're welcome.
Well, I mean, and just look, if you do, your quarterback doesn't have to play football like that kid Jaden. You know, your quarterback can actually have an off day, and you still win.
What do you think a win like that for LSU? Like, let's take it from a result component. So LSU wins, they go to 5-1. Ole Miss falls now to 5-2 on the season, not only their second loss, but their second conference loss, which effectively eliminates them from the SEC championship game because not only do they have 2 losses, they'd also lose a tiebreaker to LSU right now.
Right. I think it just depends on expectations. Ole Miss came into the season with very, very high expectations. If LSU fans were listening to Coach Kelly, I think he was hoping to see improvement this year and see some of the young players step up. But I think he still felt that next year was going to be the year, like you did, like I did as well. So from an expectation standpoint, I think it was very difficult for the Ole Miss fans on Saturday. And I know I've spoken to some of the folks in Mississippi this week, and they're just devastated. Not laughing. I'm not laughing. It sounds like I'm laughing.
As you wear your LSU national championship hat with a framed Y.A. Tittle jersey behind you. He just turned his hat backwards.
I'm not laughing. But, if you're an LSU fan, and the consistency on defense was really nice to see. I mean, it looked – did the secondary play the whole second half?
Yeah.
It was the same secondary, right? Whole second half?
They played the whole game. So Ashton Stamps, Sage Ryan – no, Zy Alexander, Ashton Stamps played
almost
all 87 snaps. Jordan Gilbert played 85 and Major Burns played 84 of the 87 snaps. So your secondary, they went with the veterans and they played the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be great. But, I mean, if you're an LSU fan and you're coming off of this game and suddenly, knowing LSU fans like I do, suddenly you're thinking, we're winning it all, baby. We're on the hype train in the Dr. Pepper commercial. I would just say, we got to do a lot better. Did I just say we? No. LSU's got to do a lot better in a number of things. I mean, the offensive line has clearly proven that they can protect Nussmeier, great pass pro. But, I mean, we got to run the ball a hell of a lot better than LSU is right now. Got to take the ball away better right now. Only 8 takeaways in the season. But if I'm thinking about the things that I'd probably be most critical about, near the bottom of the SEC in getting off the field on third down, got to get off the field better on third down. And literally at the bottom, they break down the categories for opponents' long distance plays from scrimmage by 10, 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards, 50 yards. So you can actually see where your defense struggles on giving up long plays.
Yep.
LSU's at the bottom on all of them. 10, 20, 30, 40. You got to stop giving up long plays. You got to be able to get off the field. Those two things are tied together. And one game does not a season make. As excited as I am about how the defense played against Ole Miss. And by the way, one last thing.
Yeah.
I got the four boxes going on my one TV. I got 4 other boxes going on my other TV. I got 8 games going at the same time. I'm in heaven. And as it gets closer and closer, I go just to the LSU game. I bring it up on the one TV I'm watching. LSU wins. Great pass to Lacey. By the way, clutch Lacey playing after he landed awkwardly on that leg.
Yeah, man.
Coming back in. What a stud. But please don't rush the field when you beat Ole Miss. That's LSU does not rush the field after beating Ole Miss. Don't do that again.
I agree. I've been criticized this week for being a fuddy-dud and all, but I feel that, like, collectively as a program, you are so far beyond storming the field for beating Ole Miss. I don't care any of the context. Like, you want to be the team that has the field stormed on you. You do not want to be doing the storming. It is a very clear sign of the expectation of your program and the status of your program. Stay your ass in the stands. That's my.
I think it was a component of the fact that, LSU was behind the entire game until that last play.
I get it.
And the stress.
Great win.
But it should just be a whoosh. Let's go have a drink.
Celebrate the
Saints. Yeah, but, and I don't want to take it away from people, but no, it's a bad look right in the field for Ole Miss.
Yeah, totally. And the LSU's done it like 3 straight times that they beat.
By the way, Vandy's coming to town. They've got a very good team. Don't
feel bad. Speaking of which, Vandy, which took out Alabama a week later, a lot of people thought Alabama, that'll focus them. Here comes the great Bama effort. They had their wake-up call. And Bama's in trouble. Like,
they were focused. They're just not that good.
They're not good. And they're not well coached either.
They certainly are struggling on discipline. Let's put that on the side for a second, right? Everyone wants to focus right now. Everybody always focuses on the coach and the head coach, and they always focus on the quarterback. The offense is actually, it's not great, but it's pretty much in line where it was last year. Right now, Alabama's total offense is ranked 8th in the conference. You know what they were last year? 8th. Passing offense, rushing offense.
Tell me what they're doing against league opponents.
It's still close offensively. It's defensively. It's discipline where this team is really struggling. Total defense right now in conference is ranked 13th. You know what they were ranked last year?
No.
2nd.
Big
difference. Year before, 3rd, 2nd, 5th, 3rd, 1st. This year, 13th. Here's another one for you. Not getting off the field on 3rd down, right? This year, near the bottom. They're ranked 15th. Alabama is ranked 15th.
Wow.
In the SEC. For those of you that have been sleeping in a cave, there's now 16 teams. so they're ranked.
There ain't 15 teams in the league.
15th out of 16 teams in getting off the field on 3rd down. We're halfway through the year, right? You know what they were last year? 3rd. The year before, 2nd. The year before, 2nd. The year before, 2nd. They're 15th.
You mean Kane Walmack isn't as good of a defensive coach as Nick Saban?
They don't have the players, too. They've lost so much depth, so much talent. The discipline is not there that Saban drove. He was the defensive mastermind. I'm less worried about this Alabama offense going forward than I am the defense and the discipline around that. Penalties, I don't really worry about that much because we've talked about this before. There have been years where Alabama's been dead last in penalties and won a national championship. Same with LSU, same with Florida. But there's a difference between penalties that happen because of aggression, which I like, or penalties that happen because of lack of discipline. This year, the only team that's been penalized more than Alabama, Ole Miss. And it's not because of aggression. It's because of sloppiness. That's why I'm worried about Alabama.
I'm not worried about them. I'm thrilled about them. I'm very happy about them, actually. And I think they're going to lose. Yeah, go ahead.
Did you do another Bama burning this week?
No. Because they almost lost? No. I'll have plenty more opportunities as the season goes along. I'll have plenty more opportunities as the season goes along. All right, let's do this. We'll come back. I want to talk about Bama, Tennessee. I want to talk about LSU with a scary spot up in Fayetteville. And, of course, the big one this weekend with Georgia going to Austin. It's after further review. We'll continue with Russ Mitchell.
AFR.
Action Industries, proud partner of LSU Athletics. Action, INDINC.com. Action Industries Incorporated. That's the website. Been telling you that there's 2 turnarounds coming up. It's month-long turnarounds, 4 to 5 weeks. Working 7/12s. Great opportunity to stockpile that cash here before the holiday season, before Christmas rolls around, to move toward the college football postseason. Action Industries. All the work is local to the greater Baton Rouge area. And, by the way, Action has been awarded a contract for a year-long project, so they're going to have even more work coming down the pipe as well. Great opportunity to get on board over at Action Industries. 2 ways you can apply. We're talking welders, pipe fitters, crane operators, boiler makers. 2 ways you can apply. Online, actionindinc.com, or at their Highway 30 office in Geismar. Just go in and ask for Zach. Action Industries, proud partner of LSU Athletics.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, Russ Mitchell's with us, college football news. We will preview this weekend ahead. Our chats with Russ each week brought to you by Parrish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com. We've got to get you a hat, too, by the way, so you can wear it on this on the segment. I don't hear him. There he is.
I don't wear hats.
I don't think I've ever seen you not wearing a hat. Except when we go to dinner in Las Vegas. Then you're not wearing a hat. You're wearing a jacket.
Wearing a jacket.
Yeah. Hey, real quick before we get into this weekend's games, Graham Mertz lost for the season. DJ Lagway, 5-star, will be his show. Thoughts? Significance?
I love. I know you're setting me up there with the softball, but I love how people. The backup quarterback is always the favorite person in town. I mean, it's not like Mertz has been terrible this year. His quarterback rating is against conference play is like 196. Lagway's quarterback rating against SEC opponents is like 112.
Oh, wow.
His completion percentage against SEC teams is 82%. Lagway's is 59%. So, yeah, this is hardly an upgrade. And he's a rookie.
Yeah.
But, it's not just Mertz and Lagway. Neither of them plays defense. The defense is ranked 15th. Do you realize Alabama's defense is ranked 13th worst right now, halfway through the season? LSU is ranked 14th, and Florida is ranked 15th.
That's wild.
This is what happens when Saban leaves, man. Bang. But they're dead last against the run in conference play, which is still worse than LSU. And in turnover margin, the only team giving the ball up more than Florida is Auburn. So, they can't take the ball away. They can't get off the field. It's far more than just quarterback play for the Gators.
Do you want to start with LSU-Arkansas?
Arkansas? Sure. Obviously, you can take away the quarterback. If you take away the quarterback from any team, they're going to be in a tough spot. But even more so with Arkansas because they want to run the ball, and Green is a significant amount of their rushing attack. We saw what happened with their offense when he went out of the game against Tennessee, and they still managed to pull through there. But, I think they say he's going to play, but I think he'll probably end up playing in the same way Trey Harris played, which is, the fourth quarter on the sideline. If that's the case, if Taylor can play, he's going to play.
Yeah.
Because he's got a history with Nussmeier, right? Going back to high school in Dallas. They played, he played for the Fighting Farmers, and Nussmeier played for the Marauders.
Okay.
And Nussmeier beat him.
They played against each other?
Played against each other,
Okay.
and Nussmeier beat him twice. So Green definitely wants to play in this game, particularly at home, particularly coming off a bye. They're 4-2. They had that overtime loss to Oklahoma State that they should have won that game. They had a one possession loss to Texas A&M. It's not like they've had some big wins. They beat Texas. That was a big win, but they're undefeated at home. They've got a top rushing offense. LSU does not have a top rushing defense. But if they don't have Green playing at 100%, then I don't see them winning this game. I see LSU winning it. But I will point out that Arkansas to LSU is like Kentucky to Florida. It's like kryptonite.
It's weird. It's true.
So I'll feel a lot better. Well, I love all my children the same, but I think that this is a game where again Arkansas wants to run the ball against a LSU run defense that has struggled so far throughout 2024. And if Green's not in the game, and not just in the game, he's got to be able to be explosive. And if he's not, then they're a completely different team.
I agree. What about Tennessee, Bama? Bama, we just talked about how bad they've been defensively, but Tennessee was great offensively when they were playing Kennesaw State. Then they started playing SEC teams, and they've been shut out the first half the last 2 weeks. So what gives here? Bad defense, offense that's been on the skids.
It's interesting. Alabama has allowed twice as many points this season than Tennessee.
Yeah,
120.
Freaking allowed 40 to Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I know.
They blew a 28-point lead to Georgia.
I know. This is a Alabama defense. Just really the last 4 games, but they were even giving up points early in the season. So, Alabama's defense, as we talked about, has shown a lot of vulnerabilities, particularly when they allow teams to stay on the field. That's actually not Tennessee's style, though, right? This isn't an offense. From that perspective, it's not a bad matchup for Alabama. Also, statistically, and again, we're only halfway through the season, but statistically, Alabama actually has played better on the road in the 2 games that they have. Now, granted, they lost one of those, but statistically, they've played better on the road. Maybe it's getting away from that crazy town, right?
They played at Vanderbilt.
I know. Statistically, they still.
Well, they've only played 2 road games. They played Wisconsin and Vanderbilt, and Wisconsin stinks, and their quarterback got hurt on the first drive.
I know,
and then they gave up 40 to Vanderbilt. Look, you can say it, Russ. Bama stinks. They shouldn't be favored. Tennessee's defensive front is going to take over that game, and Bama's going to lose on Saturday.
I expect Tennessee's defensive front to give Milroe a hell of a hard time.
Yeah.
This game kind of reminds me of the game not recently that went late and Tennessee won it on a field goal. I do think it'll be a lot closer. I think Tennessee believes, even with the bad play in the last couple of games, I think Tennessee's team believes that they belong a lot more than their last win over Alabama. So I like Tennessee at home in this game.
The big one is Georgia at Texas. So surprised to see that number continue to grow. Texas is a 5-point favorite. Now Kirby gets to go to his team and say, guys, they don't think anything of you. You're a 5-point underdog. I think that's going to be fireworks in Austin.
I mean, Georgia's been here, right? I mean, Georgia's not Texas. It's been since 1958, their only trip to Austin. But they've been in these kind of games for years and years now. Whereas Texas, other than other than going to the playoff last year, it's been a while since Texas has been in this kind of game. So that goes against them. But if you've watched they really struggle. Georgia does in every game. They play down to the quality of the opponent. If you watched the Mississippi State game this week, and I don't blame you if you didn't, but it was ugly. And Georgia played ugly throughout the game. They're missing something. And I was talking to somebody in Athens this week, and they said confidence. They're missing confidence. They don't play with the same confidence that they have. And that's because a lot of the kids that were providing that confidence now play for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I think that on the road against a Texas defense that has allowed less than a touchdown per game so far this year, at home in that stadium with Carson Beck with a week under his belt getting back, I think Georgia is going to have a tough time. I think 5 to 7 points is probably about right.
Who's the best team that Texas has beaten?
It's certainly not Georgia. I mean, you probably have to say Oklahoma, and they did it with an Oklahoma team that was playing with third-string wide receivers, a 13-year-old quarterback, and an offensive line that can't block.
Look, these are the 2 teams I picked to play 3 times this year. This game in the SEC championship game, and then again in the playoff.
Yeah.
But who has Texas beaten? Colorado State, Michigan, who stinks, UTSA, UL Monroe, Mississippi State, Oklahoma.
They haven't just.
This is punching up in a weight class, man.
They haven't just beaten them.
Don't care.
They have undressed them.
They're bad teams. Tennessee undressed bad teams.
I know. They crushed
Ole Miss crushed bad teams. Yeah. Look at what's happened when you punch up in weight class. We're about to find out. We're about to find out.
This is a Georgia team that's laced with, 5-star kids that expects to be playing in championship games. They'll play up. To this Texas environment. But it is in Texas. It is in that stadium, which is going to be loud and aggressive. This is a game that program feels they need to make it to the next level. I like Texas at home.
All right, Russ.
I think 5 is about right.
Texas at home. Hey, we got to go real quick, but I am interested. South Carolina and Oklahoma, 2 teams that need a win in the most desperate possible way. 10 seconds on that game.
I mean, You would think you would take Oklahoma just off of the logos on the shirts. But, Oklahoma can't. Their offense is so depleted that I think it's going to be a slugfest.
Yeah.
And I like South Carolina.
Wow, in Norman, too. We'll see. Bill, if that's what a rude awakening, right, for Oklahoma.
USC in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Oklahoma in the SEC. Christmas is over, baby.
You're right. Russ Mitchell, convos each week here, presented by Parrish Construction and Roofing, parrishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing, parrishbuilt.com. All right, we'll talk next week. We'll look forward to it.
Later, brother.
See ya. It's After Further Review, brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and southpointvw.com. I was in South Point earlier today. Went over there, popped in, saw the crew at South Point Volkswagen Airline just north of Highland, southpointvw.com. They're fantastic, man. You'll check them out over there if you're in the market for a new vehicle. Shop them online. If it's on the lot, it's online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned. Maybe you're not looking for a new vehicle. Call Kerry Manuel, certified pre-owned manager over at South Point Volkswagen. Remember, they sell more new vehicles, which means they have more trade-ins, all different makes and models. You can get all of them on the lot at southpointvw.com. Or online, I should say. If it's on the lot, it's online at southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? Okay, thanks to Russ for being here. Mike Triplett was here earlier this hour as well. We'll wrap up with Otterlocks. Jimmy will be here to give us what we're betting on tonight next at AFR.
After Further Review.
Hey, y'all. Rouse's, now more than 70 locations from Lake Charles to Orange Beach. They just opened up another location in Biloxi this week. No matter where you are along the Gulf Coast, our friends at Rouse's, not far. Voted the best grocery store in Louisiana, best grocery store in Mississippi. Anywhere you go, you'll find them because they're the best. It's Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. And Rouse's always dealing up some specials, y'all. How about the hand-cut USDA Angus Choice Beef Boneless Whole Rump Roast, hand-cut in store, $2.98 a pound. You save $3.51 a pound. Rouse's Butchers, they'll cut it and wrap it for free at any of the Rouse's locations. You want to feed your whole family? Eat that amazing Chairman's Reserve USDA Angus Choice Beef Boneless Whole Rump Roast for just $2.98 a pound right now at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Plucker's Trivia. Nicholson Bluebonnet. You don't buy tonight. Test your knowledge. Win Plucker's gift cards, Amazon gift cards, eat wings, drink beer, watch sports on TV, and watch the games you're betting on tonight. It's Otterlocks.
Otterlocks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
All right, Otter, 2-1 last night in college football. What do you do for an encore? How are you, man?
Good. I want a gift card, man. Oh.
I can make it happen. I know a guy.
I want to win a gift card. How do I win a gift card?
Well, you got to go win trivia. Do not bring Muso, because the one thing doing our Pluckers Trivia segment has taught us over the years is Muso is terrible at trivia and all things general knowledge.
Come on, man.
It was a bagel today, man. Went 0-3.
Oh, no.
I know.
Ooh.
It's not great.
Oh,
not great.
All right. So
not great.
We're gonna take a let's get the baseball out the way. I really like tonight's game.
All right.
Remember Walker Buehler? They brought him back after he was injured. He has not been the same. Remember the Padres blistered him. He didn't make it out the second inning. Here he goes again. Should be. We know it's a more than capable lineup for the Mets, and I think it's going to be a tough night for Walker Buehler and the Los Angeles Dodgers. We're going with the Mets tonight.
All right, Mets on the money line, minus 105.
Yeah, that's the money line. Then we got Western Kentucky and Sam Houston here. I'm going to take the Hilltoppers here, Matt. I know BC didn't have their quarterback in the game where they had them, Castellanos, but they almost beat them. They're 4-2. I think they're a little bit more. Their 4-2 is a little bit more impressive than Sam Houston's 5-1. We'll take the Hilltoppers on the road.
We doing a little sprinkle on the money line, or the line's 1.5 right now. We like them on the money line.
Well, I mean, sure, but what's the price of the money line?
Money line's minus 102. The spread is minus $1.12.
You can split it up half and half.
All right,
you split it up. I mean, it's. I don't know. We'll let that thing fall one.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Got it. All right. Nope.
It's not enough of juice disparity to interest me. But when they are that low, sure, absolutely check them and see if it's if you get a little bit more than that. And then, oh boy, here we go. The old stinkeroo of the night. Man. Ain't many gonna have the 0-6 UTEP Miners. Come on, Moose. This is where he jumps in. Don't do it to us, Otter. We've got a winless team. Yes, we're taking a winless team.
Otter! Are we really going to spend our hard-earned money betting on the 0-6 UTEP Miners?
You betcha.
Value?
Fear creates value, Musso. Just remember that, okay?
Oh, God. Okay. All right,
UTEP, home dog. Hey, we got there with that poo-poo New Mexico State team last night, huh? Won the game outright. They won in 5, New Mexico State Aggies.
My
so
God.
Another one, baby. The Miners. UTEP, University of Texas El Paso, on CBS Sports Channel. 8 o'clock kickoff tonight against FIU.
All right, the Mets on the money line. Western Kentucky getting 1.5. UTEP plus the 7. Those are your otter locks for tonight. Where are you tomorrow?
The original walk-on. Get ready for Saints Broncos tomorrow night.
All right, we'll have a pick on Thursday Night Football tomorrow. Make sure you catch Jim and Charles live at lunch. Thanks, Otter.
All right, good luck.
All right, same to you. Hey, you miss anything AFR On Demand presented by Brett Golf, remember, go to your favorite podcast app. Just search After Further Review. Every hour individually is podcast. If you want it there via podcast, it's there, and, of course, on YouTube. Muse, Paulie, thanks. Have a great night. See you tomorrow at 3.
After Further Review.
So we get on down the road. I'm about Supper Club. Y'all, we're getting near the end of the week. Tomorrow is Thursday. I keep reminding you, Thursday is prime rib day over at Supper Club. Thursday is the only day of the week Chef Layton busts out that prime rib, 21-day dry-aged, bone-in tomahawk ribeye served and sliced tableside as prime rib. You can only get it on Thursday at Supper Club. Tomorrow's wine feature as well is the Bond St. Eden 2015. This is a 100-point wine. The menu price is $1,800. They're selling it for $50 an ounce. Great night to get by Supper Club. Hey, remember also, this Saturday, if you're looking for a place to go to have dinner and watch the LSU game, Supper Club will have the game on their projector. So if you don't want to stay home and watch the game, you're going to have a great dinner and watch the game. The best of both worlds at Supper Club. Reservations available for this Saturday, supperclubbtr.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has back-to-school savings like $16,000 off 25 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $16,000 off. All new Bayou vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.